need to tell you something that might upset you. That green tea you've been drinking every morning? It's not protecting your manhood the way you think it is. In fact, without one missing piece, you're absorbing less than 8% of what could be keeping your blood vessels young, your energy high, and your performance strong. I'm Dr. May Anderson, and in 25 years of treating men's vitality issues, I've watched thousands of good men do this one thing wrong. Today I'm fixing that. Here's what's happening inside your body right now. Every time you drink green tea, powerful compounds called catechins enter your system. These are supposed to keep your arteries flexible, your circulation strong, and your nitric oxide production active. That's the molecule responsible for blood flow to everywhere that matters. But here's the problem. After 60, your gut doesn't extract nutrients like it used to. The acid in your stomach destroys most of those catechins before they reach your bloodstream. You're drinking protection, but your body is throwing it away. One patient told me, "Doc, I feel like I'm doing everything right, but nothing's working." He wasn't wrong. His ritual was right. His biology was broken. And that's exactly what I'm going to help you fix in the next few minutes. Because once you understand what's stealing your absorption, the solution becomes almost embarrassingly simple. When I first started my practice, I was one of the few female urologists specializing in men's health over 50. My male colleagues would joke, "What do you know about this stuff?" But that outside perspective became my advantage. I wasn't attached to old protocols. I started asking, why do men follow all the right advice but still lose their edge? Why does green tea work in studies but fail in real life? I spent years digging into absorption science, circulation physiology, and what actually changes after 60. And what I found changed how I treat every single patient who walks through my door. Let me be direct about something. I don't pretend to know what it feels like to be a man watching your vitality slip away. But I've sat across from enough men in my exam room, seen the frustration in their eyes, heard the carefully chosen words they use to describe what's happening, to understand that this isn't just about health. It's about identity. It's about feeling like yourself again. And that's why I take this work so seriously. The men who come to see me aren't lazy. They're not ignorant. They're disciplined. They've read the articles. They've followed the advice. They wake up early, exercise, drink their green tea religiously. But something's still wrong. They feel it in their bodies. That creeping fatigue that doesn't go away no matter how much they sleep. That sluggishness that settles in by mid-afternoon. That quiet decline in the bedroom that they don't talk about, not even with their wives sometimes. And they can't figure out why, because on paper, they're doing everything right. That's the cruel irony. The effort is there. The discipline is there. But the results aren't. And after years of this, many men just accept it. They tell themselves it's age. They tell themselves it's inevitable. But it's not. What's happening is a breakdown in the delivery system. Your body isn't receiving what you're giving it. And that changes everything. Now, let me walk you through what happens when your body can't absorb what you're giving it. First, your arteries start to stiffen. Not overnight, but gradually. Then nitric oxide production drops. That's when circulation slows, not just to your heart, but to your extremities, your brain, and yes, the areas that define your confidence as a man. Your energy dips. Your recovery takes longer. Morning readiness becomes a memory. And the worst part? You blame yourself. You think, I'm just getting old. But it's not age. It's absorption. Your cells are starving while you're feeding them. That's the invisible crisis most men never connect until it's stolen years they can't get back. I've seen men in my office who've spent hundreds of dollars on supplements, followed every health trend, done everything the internet told them to do. And they're still declining. Because nobody told them the truth about what happens to nutrient absorption after 60. The pharmaceutical industry doesn't want you to know this. Supplement companies certainly don't want you to know this. Because if you understood that the problem isn't what you're taking, but how you're taking it, their entire business model collapses. They need you to keep searching for the next miracle supplement, the next breakthrough formula. But the real breakthrough isn't in a bottle. It's in understanding your biology. Let me tell you about Richard. 63 years old, retired engineer. Sharp guy. Came into my office frustrated. Dr. Anderson, I drink green tea. I walk every day. I take my vitamins. But I feel weaker than I did 5 years ago. My wife notices. I notice. His labs were decent, but when I tested his nutrient absorption markers, they told a different story. His body was only extracting 12% of the polyphenol from his tea. 12%. Imagine pouring a gallon of premium fuel into your car, and only getting a cup of it to your engine. That's what was happening. I said, Richard, you're not failing. Your gut is. That's when I introduced him to something I call the activation protocol. A simple addition to his morning tea that would triple his absorption in one step. He looked at me skeptically. What is it, some expensive supplement? I smiled. No. It's already in your kitchen. But before I tell you what it is, you need to understand why it works. Because this isn't about blind faith. This is about chemistry. Here's the science in plain English. Green tea contains catechins, powerful antioxidants that protect your blood vessels. But catechins are fragile. They break down when they hit stomach acid, heat, or oxygen. By the time they reach your small intestine where absorption happens, most are already destroyed. Think of it like trying to deliver ice cubes through a fire. They melt before they arrive. Now after 60, your digestive enzymes slow down. Your gut lining gets less efficient. The villi, those tiny finger-like projections in your intestines that grab nutrients and pull them into your bloodstream, they become less responsive. It's like having a team of workers who used to be quick and efficient, but now they're moving in slow motion. So even the catechins that survive the acid can't get through your intestinal wall effectively. A study from the Journal of Nutrition found that men over 60 absorb 40% less polyphenol than men in their 30s. That's not your fault. It's biology. Your body is changing, and it needs different strategies to work optimally. But here's the breakthrough. There's a compound that acts like a protective escort. It shields catechins from acid, speeds them through your gut, and multiplies absorption by up to 300%. It's called piperine, and it comes from black pepper. Yes, the same black pepper sitting in your spice rack right now. Let me explain how this works, because once you understand the mechanism, you'll never look at your morning tea the same way again. Your liver and intestines contain enzymes that break down nutrients too quickly. They're doing their job, but they're too efficient for their own good. These enzymes are like overzealous security guards, destroying things before they can be properly identified and utilized. Piperine temporarily slows down those enzymes, giving the catechins from your green tea more time to cross into your bloodstream. It's like hitting the slow motion button on a video. Everything that was rushing past too fast suddenly has time to be captured. Clinical trials have shown piperine can increase the bioavailability of certain compounds by 2,000%. That's not a typo. 2,000%. When researchers first discovered this, they thought there was an error in their calculations. They ran the tests again. Same results. Piperine is one of the most powerful natural bioenhancers ever discovered, and it's been hiding in plain sight in your kitchen this entire time. But here's where most people get it wrong. They grab the pre-ground pepper that's been sitting in their cabinet for 2 years, and wonder why nothing changes. Piperine degrades rapidly once pepper is ground and exposed to air. Within weeks, most of that pre-ground pepper is nutritionally dead. The compound breaks down when exposed to oxygen and light. You need fresh pepper. The kind you grind yourself right before you use it. That's non-negotiable. It's the difference between taking medicine and taking a placebo. Here's exactly what I told Richard to do, and what I want you to do starting tomorrow morning. Brew your green tea like normal. While it's still hot, add a 1/4 teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper. Not the dusty pre-ground stuff. Fresh pepper from a grinder. The piperine needs to be active. Stir it in. Let it steep for 30 seconds. The heat helps extract the piperine, but you don't want to let it sit so long that the catechins degrade. Timing matters here. Then, and this is key, squeeze half a lemon into the cup. The vitamin C acts as a second shield, protecting the catechins while the piperine helps them cross your gut barrier. Research from Purdue University found that adding vitamin C to green tea increased the amount of catechins that survive digestion by several 100%. You're essentially building a 2-layer defense system. The lemon protects. The pepper accelerates. Together, they transform your tea from a placebo into a potent delivery system for the compounds your circulation desperately needs. Drink it slowly over 10 minutes. Don't rush it. Give your body time to process and absorb. That's it. One simple upgrade. Richard tried it for 3 weeks. His energy came back first. He noticed it on day 5. Not a dramatic surge, but a steady, reliable baseline that hadn't been there in years. Then his morning vitality returned. Week 2. His wife noticed before he said anything. Then, at his 3-week follow-up, his wife pulled me aside and whispered, "Whatever you told him to do, keep telling him." I checked his absorption markers. Tripled. His nitric oxide levels improved by 40%. His blood pressure dropped by 8 points. He didn't change his diet. He didn't add supplements. He didn't start a new exercise program. He just unlocked what was already there. That's the power of bioavailability. It's not about adding more. It's about absorbing what you already have. Now I know what some of you are thinking. Dr. Anderson, pepper in my tea? That sounds terrible. And I get it. The idea takes some getting used to. But here's what Richard told me at his 3-month follow-up. I don't even taste it anymore. What I do taste is the difference in how I feel. And that's all that matters. The mild spice fades quickly, especially with the lemon. The citrus cuts through any harshness. What stays is the effect. Richard isn't unique. I've had patients tell me their cold hands and feet warmed up. Their afternoon crashes disappeared. Their confidence in the bedroom came back. One man said, "I feel like I'm 55 again." Another told me his wife asked him what he was taking because she wanted some for herself. These aren't miracles. They're biology finally working the way it's supposed to when you give it the right tools. The feedback I get most often? Why didn't anyone tell me this before? And that's exactly why I'm making these videos. Because the health industry doesn't profit when you solve problems with kitchen ingredients. They profit when you stay dependent on expensive supplements that promise everything and deliver just enough to keep you buying. I'm not against supplements. Some are excellent. But when a 50-cent solution exists and nobody's talking about it, something's wrong. The information asymmetry in healthcare is staggering, and it's costing men their quality of life. There's more to this protocol, by the way. The black pepper and lemon combination is your foundation. But depending on your specific concerns, whether it's circulation, blood sugar stability, or prostate health, there are additional tweaks that can target those areas directly. I've put together a comprehensive guide called the Complete Sexual Health Blueprint for Men Over 50 that breaks down every variation of this protocol, including the exact timing, the science behind each ingredient, and how to adjust based on your medications or health conditions. You'll find the link in the description if you want the full system. But even if you just start with what I've given you today, you're already ahead of 95% of men your age. Let me address something else I hear constantly in my practice. Dr. Anderson, I've tried everything. Green tea, supplements, diet changes. Nothing works for me. And my response is always the same. You haven't tried everything. You've tried a lot of things poorly absorbed. There's a massive difference. It's like having a high-performance car, but putting low-grade fuel in it. The car isn't broken. The fuel isn't reaching the engine properly. Your body after 60 is still capable of remarkable things. But it needs precision, not just effort. That's what separates the men who thrive in their 60s and 70s from the men who fade. It's not genetics. It's not luck. It's information. And more importantly, it's application. Knowledge without action is just trivia. You can know everything about health and still be unhealthy if you don't implement what you know. Here's something I want you to understand deeply. Every biological system in your body is interconnected. When you improve absorption, you're not just fixing one thing. You're upgrading everything downstream. Better absorption means more antioxidants reaching your arterial walls. That means less oxidative stress, less inflammation, better blood flow. And better blood flow means more oxygen to every organ, including your brain, your heart, and yes, the organs that determine your vitality and confidence as a man. The cascade effect of proper nutrient absorption is profound. Your immune system functions better. Your cells repair themselves more efficiently. Your hormones balance more naturally. Your energy stabilizes. It's like fixing a dam. Once the water flows properly, everything downstream flourishes. That's what happens when you fix absorption. Everything else starts working better automatically. I've seen men come into my office defeated, convinced their best years are behind them. And 6 months later, they're telling me they feel better than they did at 50. Not because I gave them a magic pill, but because I taught them how to work with their biology instead of against it. That's the shift. That's what changes everything. Stop fighting your body. Start supporting it with the strategies it needs at this stage of life. The green tea protocol I just walked you through is one piece of a larger puzzle. It addresses absorption, circulation, and nitric oxide production. But there are other pieces. Sleep quality, for instance. After 60, deep sleep becomes harder to achieve, and that's when your body produces testosterone and growth hormone. Those are your repair hormones. Without deep sleep, you're running on empty no matter how well you eat. Your body needs that restoration time to rebuild muscle, consolidate memory, and regulate hormones. There's also the prostate conversation. By 60, most men are dealing with some level of prostate enlargement. It's normal, but it's not inevitable that it disrupts your life. There are specific nutrients, specific timing strategies, and specific lifestyle adjustments that can keep your prostate healthy and your urinary function strong. I'll be covering that in an upcoming video, so make sure you're subscribed. The connection between prostate health and overall vitality is stronger than most men realize. But right now, I want to bring this back to the actionable. Because information without application is just entertainment. And you didn't click on this video to be entertained. You clicked because something's not working, and you want it fixed. You want results. You want to feel like yourself again. You want your wife to look at you the way she used to. You want the energy to keep up with your grandkids. You want the confidence that comes from knowing your body still works the way it should. Tomorrow morning, before you do anything else, I want you to try this protocol. Brew your green tea. Grind fresh black pepper. Add a 1/4 teaspoon. Squeeze in half a lemon. Drink it slowly. Do that every morning for 3 weeks. That's 21 days. Mark it on your calendar. Set a reminder on your phone if you have to. And pay attention to what changes. Your energy. Your circulation. Your morning readiness. Your mental clarity. Write it down if you have to. Because the changes can be subtle at first, and I don't want you to miss them. If after 3 weeks you notice even a 10% improvement in how you feel, you'll know this works. And once you know it works, you'll keep doing it. That's how habits stick. Not through willpower, but through results. Your brain loves evidence. Give it evidence that this matters, and the behavior becomes automatic. Now here's what I need you to understand. The health industry doesn't want you to know that simple kitchen ingredients can do what expensive supplements promise. Next week, I'm revealing another absorption hack that targets prostate health and urinary flow. 2 things that quietly rob men of their confidence after 60. If you don't subscribe and turn on notifications, you'll miss it. And 6 months from now, you'll still be wondering why nothing's working. Don't let that happen. Don't let pride or procrastination cost you another year of vitality. If this just clicked for you, if you're thinking about a friend, a brother, or a husband who's been struggling with the same quiet decline, hit the like button and share this video. Most men suffer in silence because they think it's just age. But you now know it's not. Help me reach one more man who needs to hear this. That's how we change the narrative around aging. One shared video at a time. One conversation at a time. One man helping another man reclaim what he thought was lost. Before you go, let me leave you with this. Black pepper solves absorption. But there's a second ingredient, one that most men throw away every single day, that directly targets nighttime hormone production and deep sleep recovery. I'll walk you through exactly how to use it in my next video. You won't want to miss it. The compound I'm talking about has been shown in clinical studies to increase deep sleep by up to 40% and support natural testosterone production while you rest. And if you're serious about taking control of your health, about reclaiming the vitality you thought was gone, grab a copy of the Complete Sexual Health Blueprint for Men Over 50. It's in the description below. Everything I've talked about today is just the beginning. That guide gives you the complete system, the exact protocols I use with my private patients, the timing, the combinations, the troubleshooting. It's the blueprint I wish I could hand to every man who walks into my office. Consider it your next step. Not tomorrow. Today. Because every day you wait is another day your body isn't functioning at its potential. Here's what I know after 25 years of doing this work. Men who take action feel better. Men who wait decline. It's that simple. It's not harsh. It's just true. You've already taken the first step by watching this video. Now take the second. Try the protocol. Subscribe to the channel. Share this with someone who needs it. And remember, your vitality doesn't disappear with age. It evolves with awareness.